morning, grade 4s. Today we are going to talk a little bit about bar graphs. Now, there are two different types of bar graphs. There is a vertical bar graph, which is when the bars go up and down like little towers. And then there are horizontal bar graphs, which is when the bars come out like the side, like little perches for birds to sit on. Both of these bar graphs here show the exact same information. It's just shown in both vertical form and horizontal form. Now, every single bar graph, whether it's vertical or horizontal, needs a few things. First of all, they need a very good title so we know what the bar graph is about. They need labels. What are the bars representing? So in this case, the bars are representing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And the same thing for this one. We need a scale, which is telling us how many of whatever we're measuring happened for each label. So in this case, it's telling us how many hours the person went outside on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And finally, they need very nice straight bars colored in nicely so that we can see exactly where those lines fall on the scale. Those are all the things you need in a good bar graph. So once we use that information, or once we have that information, we can use it to answer many different types of questions. So right here, I have a few questions for us to go through and answer, and we're going to try to do them all. So here we go. The first question says, how many hours did I spend outside on Monday? So I go to my scale for Monday, or this Monday, it doesn't really matter which one, and then I look to see where that Monday falls on my scale. Now the best way to do that is to grab a ruler and just see where the bar ends and bring it down and see where it matches up with. In this case, it matches up right with the 2. So next to here, I'm just going to put a 2. That way it's easy to find again and I can easily do it again. And then I know the answer is, I spent 2 hours outside. How many hours did I spend on Wednesday is the next question. So once again, I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to line it up with the end of my bar, I'm going to bring it down, and it lands in the middle of my scale. So let's think together for a minute, grade 4s. If this part of my scale means 2 hours, and this part means 4 hours, and this falls right in between, how many hours do you think that represents? I'll leave it for a minute. Well, I know 2. The answer is 3, which is right in the middle. So, must have spent 3 hours outside. I spent 3 hours outside. And once again, to help me out, I'm going to put a little 3 here so that I know what I'm doing. Question number 3 says this. Which day did I spend the most time outside? So I'm looking for the one with the most hours outside. The largest bar is Tuesday. I spent the most time outside on Tuesday. And finally, how many hours did I spend all together? So for that, I'm going to have to add up all my bars together to figure out how many hours there are total. So I know there's 2 for this one, there's 3 for this one. I do some measuring with my ruler to figure out there's 4 hours on this one, and then I add those up. 2 plus 3 plus 4 gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hours. So therefore, I spent 9 hours all together. There we go. Now, this final question, you can't see exactly, but it's way down here. It says, what is the average number of hours I spent outside? So for a question like this, once again, I need to know what each of my bars are worth. So I have a 2, I have a 3, and I have a 4. And then once I have all my bars down, I average those numbers out. So my 2, my 3, and my 4 are the numbers that I'm averaging. So I add them up. 2 plus 3 plus 4 gives me 9. And then I divide by the number of numbers I have. I have 1, 2, 3 numbers. So I do 9 divided by 3. And I get 3. So the average is 3. So average questions don't have to be tricky. All you have to do is find your numbers from your bar and treat them like any other random numbers that you would average up. I hope that is helpful to you. Have a lovely day, grade 4s. Goodbye.